The purpose of the D-Day 75 community project was to help local community groups engage with the D-Day story and research and uncover their local D-Day heritage. The idea behind it was to help people connect with their local heritage and be part of the D-Day 75 commemoration events. The D-Day story opened in 1982 and it originally opened to house the Overtired embroidery, which is still on display today. We, a few years ago, secured funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund to redevelop the museum and modernise it. So we closed for a few years and this was all part of the D-Day 75 project. We reopened in 2018 and part of the idea of the D-Day 75 project is to involve the community within the project. So we had Chat Over Chai involved. They are a group for ethnic minorities that work in Portsmouth and get together and talk over tea and sewing usually. We had the Jump Hounds group involved, who are a group for people who maybe experience social isolation and are above the age of 60. Red Saucieta are a local theatre group, and the Extras are a group who work with people with disabilities. And then the people from Milton were just local community members who were involved in their local history and wanted to record that. Over the course of 6 to 7 months, each group met with me at regular sessions and we researched the history together. Each group also chose an outcome for their project, so over the course of the sessions we decided how they would like to display their findings for the local wider Portsmouth community, which was kind of the overall aim of the project.
Then we're going to have some lunch, have a break, have a chill, and then we're going to have a look through some propaganda posters.
The Jump Hounds group is a group of people experiencing social isolation that tend to be above the age of 60, and they meet at the Jump Hounds Centre every Wednesday or Friday to get together and talk and have a cup of tea and do different events.
I am really proud to be part of Portsmouth for these celebrations. I think it's extremely important that we remember and that future generations remember all the things that happened here.
The Jump Hounds groups, they both decided to do different final outcomes. So the Jump Hounds Wednesday group, they decided that they were going to be researching Portsmouth's historical dockyard and the role that it played in helping the Second World War in D-Day. So when they started researching it, they started looking through transcripts and they started to realise that in the transcripts of people talking about their jobs in the dockyards, there was actually some sort of comical moments about the life in the dockyards, and it was an environment that was very interesting and people worked together, and it was a very heartwarming environment as well. And it kind of reminded them of the 1940s information posters that used to go up and how they could be slightly comical as well as having quite a serious tone to them. So we decided to hire the two sisters, who are a graphic design company in Portsmouth, and they were commissioned to create 5 posters, which the group chose what would be on each poster. And they designed them and printed them for us, and each poster describes an aspect of the dockyard that became life in the Second World War. For example, one of the posters is of both male and female workers coming together at the dockyard gates, because as much as sometimes people might think that women were underpaid and treated quite badly, it was a sense of camaraderie and people came together, both male and female, and they worked together. So the posters detail that aspect of the dockyards.
So you're all going to be interviewers. Are you going to be an interviewee, the person being interviewed?
Their Friday club decided that they wanted to look into the memories of group members. Some of them have been alive during the war, some of them have been children. So they wanted to look at oral history interviews and how they record and capture those memories.
Then we used to go to dance clubs, Hammersmith Pally, where they used to have all the big bands playing.
And some people underwent training. So, for example, John Pound's Friday Club underwent training with Rib Davis, who's an oral history expert, and they learned how to record memories, how to interview people appropriately, and how to create an interview process.
Because it didn't seem to be
Overtired is a group that predominantly works with people from black and ethnic minority backgrounds, and it's a safe place where they can all come and get together and chat and do lots of different activities together. So Chat Over Chai decided that they wanted to research the Wrens and the Rins, which is the Women's Royal Indian Navy and the Women's Royal Navy that worked in Britain, and their work and what they did for the war efforts. When they started researching, they started to try and decipher that information and create something artistic as a result that they could show off. So Thursday group, Chat Over Chai, decided that they were going to create a sari. The Rins, which is the Women's Royal Indian Navy, they could have a choice to wear saris with their uniform. They used to wear a white sari. And so Chat Over Chai decided that they would create a white sari and they would embroider it with messages, either about the research they had done or about the community group in general. So they created a sari, embroidered it, we printed pictures of the Rins onto the sari and we wrote messages to them as well. And it was a really beautiful way to bring together their community group and also the history that they had researched.
A lot of the Asian people don't have much hobbies. Like when they retire, what do they do? Somebody this morning was talking in the group and saying, like, as an Asian person, I don't think we have any kind of hobby. So this sort of skills actually helps them to remind and sort of reconnect with their things that they know what they would like to do. For myself, what would I like to do when I retire?
Red Sauce Theatre are a local amateur dramatics theatre group. They teamed up with the Extras, who are a group that work with people with disabilities, and they were working together to create a performance inspired by D-Day.
It's about D-Day, and it's about the soldiers that never returned back, that were on the boat in Normandy.
It's good to look backwards as well as forwards, but not in a negative way. This is looking backwards to celebrate and to commemorate rather than to be miserable about.
I have felt really supported by you guys, and it's been
just really lovely to be part of a project and be part of the D-Day story, partly because I'm Portsmouth born and bred and I've walked past this museum many, many times and never actually been in it.
The Milton Community Group were a group of enthusiasts, historical enthusiasts, who decided that they wanted to put together a walking tour of their local area. It ended up just being the two of them in the end, but they worked really hard and they came up with a really good product.
I'm not sure whether that one is that low resolution.
I think overall it's been very useful for the community groups in taking ownership of their history and taking ownership of their home. I think a lot of them feel like they understand Portsmouth a lot more and they feel closer to it, and as this is their heritage and this is something that they can take forward and they can tell people about.
Because if you don't keep history alive, nobody will know. So I think it is keeping it alive.
I've learnt more about the role, in the landing, and that's through the D-Day Museum actually.
But I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that you actually came and showed us what we could do.
It's brought us all really quite close together as a team, as a group. So
it's been very interesting, fascinating.
Hats off to you guys because I think you organised it all. But no, thank you, and I'm glad I'm being part of it.